Greetings, I'm Adam Fladell.
And I'm Alex Johnson.
And you're watching Lead News at 4.
Last night, the Miller case trial came to an end. Both defending and prosecuting attorneys fought for their sides with passion.
We sent a reporter on the scene to get the scoop on the trial. Here's what they had to say.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, the issue before the court today is whether or not Brad Miller is or is not guilty of murder and or manslaughter of the deceased Joe Jones.
Now that was perhaps an interesting story, but as you will see, that's not what happened, and the state will not prove that story to be true beyond a reasonable doubt.
Both sides argued their cases very well, so I'm expecting them to bring their A game, and I hope that we bring ours.
Instead of raw power deciding resolution of conflicts and problems, that we will have trials. And you may not even think about it, but we also elect the judges in Michigan to interpret what the law is in a given case and apply it fairly and efficiently. And then we take it one step farther. We drag folks in who don't want to be here, got better things to do, and make them be jurors. And what they will decide in any particular case are the facts as opposed to the law.
Well, I thought it was a very intensely debated trial. Each side came well prepared for their testimonies, their cross-ex questions. I think that each of the witnesses did a fine job with detailing the facts of the case, and especially the openings and closings were very dramatic and persuasive from both.
Thank you for reporting on this for us.
Over the course of the week, various individuals came and shared wisdom and testimony with those among the representatives, senators, and attorneys. These individuals gave inspiring and encouraging messages about the role of God in both their personal and professional lives.
What did you think of the chapel speaker tonight?
He was absolutely fabulous.
You're going to be exposed to people who are atheists and don't believe in any God, pantheists who will say everything is God, agnostics who say, I don't even know if there is a God. God is just a distant memory, but you know that God is real.
I really loved the chutzpah he had and the way that he was able to really bring the Bible to life, show the Christian principles in a way that was tangible for us.
What was your favorite part?
Probably when he made a comparison between teenagers today and Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego back then, and also never to give up hope that there's always going to be other Christ followers out there, even if you don't know that there's always, some other Christians out there.
People are asking, what am I here for? We've been given the mission of reconciliation, but I want to go a little bit deeper in purpose. Spend that time with him. Say, God, you made me. What am I here for? What do you want to do with my life? I can tell you it's way better than my plan. Way better.
Therefore, we are ambassadors for Christ, God making his appeal through us. We implore you on behalf of Christ to be reconciled to God. So you're a new creation in Christ, and you're an ambassador for him.
And what were your biggest takeaways from last night's speakers?
Well, I'd say I could connect with the first speaker, the lawyer. He retired Marine Corps as a captain. So, I had a level of respect and gave him my full attention.
You might be in college going, well, I think I might like to be a lawyer, or I might like to be an engineer, or I might like to go and try to trade corn futures in Chicago. Right? You can do all of those things and be a Christian. Have the vocational confidence to say, I'm going to go do that thing, and I'm going to be an ambassador for Christ in that thing. I'm not going to be shy about who I am, because I get up every morning and I remember that I belong to Christ, and that's how I'm going to live my life.
I really liked Monica's encouragement. She's very encouraging.
What do you want to be when you grow up? Get that question all the time. What school do you want to go to? And it's always as if there's always a there. Not a now, but a there. And as I thought about that, I wanted to impress upon you that your there is now.
With Monica, I really liked how she was talking about the message that Mr. James Mova has been talking about with purpose. It's been a really big thing in my life, and God's been doing a lot of work in me this week, because I've struggled with maybe what my purpose is in life and feeling like I don't have one, and that we can always be an ambassador for Christ no matter what actions we're doing. If they're bad or good, we're always going to be setting an example, so I need to keep my focus on that.
All the attendees to the chapel meetings were very grateful and appreciated the messages delivered. In more recent news, members from the community gathered for a local talent show. Acts included various and fascinating feats such as acting, singing, and even magic. Our reporters from our top lead team were there to see the action.
How did you think the talent show went last night?
A lot of the shows were funny, they were very humorous, and then the singing was amazing.
I thought it was a lot of fun to watch and to participate in.
I got to see a lot of good, talented people display their talents. Everybody did a good job.
Okay, thank you very much.
Those talents were quite impressive.
Up next, we have Scott with the weather. But first, a word from one of our sponsors.
Okay, no pushing, shoving, fighting, or hitting people with chairs.
Welcome to Weather with Scott. I'm Scott Makery, and this evening's forecast is a high of 83 with a low of 66. Mostly cloudy, but not too bad. Possible rain, though, watch out on the way home. Roads might be a little bit slippery. Going now into Saturday morning, it's going to be getting up to a high of 81 with a low of 61. There's even more possible rain on Saturday, and watch out while you're on the roads and heading home. Sunday, though, looks like it should be a good day all around.
Thanks for the heads up, Scott. Earlier today, representatives and senators took part in sessions to argue their bills before their respective floor.
Our lead team was there to capture the processes in action.
The Senate will come to order. Please stand as the Honorable Joseph Cecil leads us in prayer and to remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance immediately after.
Thank you, Madam President. Ladies and gentlemen, I am here today to address the injustices going on in our public schools.
Vote yes to protect student rights.
Thank you, Madam President. Ladies and gentlemen of the Senate and House, the bill we are trying to pass is completely in line with the Constitution.
We are going to vote on whether we should pass this bill into law as it has been amended. All those in favor of the bill, please stand.
Hopefully the bill's pass will be a benefit to all of us once enacted. Earlier today, regarding the hearings from Birmingham School District, the appellants and the appealees argued their points before the Supreme Court justices.
Are you prepared for the hearings that are about to take place in just a few minutes?
Yes, because I've been preparing all week for it, and going over my arguments and possible questions that the judges might ask.
Resolution 27 does not violate the Establishment Clause, even if it has been proven to be a religion. It will meet all the requirements set forth by the court.
I am excited, but I'm nervous as well. So I feel really confident in my argument. Not just that confidence in yourself, which I know will come, but I'm confident in my argument. We've prepared all week for this, and I'm really excited to see it play out.
Well, of course nervous, because who wouldn't be nervous going before justices?
I was.
But it feels like a nice nervous, like that little bit of adrenaline that'll just push you through and be like, oh, wait a second, I remember everything. Hopefully I win.
That is a good hope to have.
Thanks, Adam and Lauren, for reporting on that.
Oh, you're welcome. We thank you all for tuning in today. This has been your Lead News Network. We bid you a good evening, and may the Lord be with you, always.